Hi there, Bed Bath and Bongs here. Thank you for joining me. I also did want to talk about President Joe Biden's executive orders and some of the things he's doing on his first couple days in office here. As far as COVID programs go, turns out Trump had no plan beyond him leaving. All these huge numbers of vaccines that he promised would be getting pushed out. Turns out it was just a huge lie. The president has revealed. So, thanks, Donny boy. So Joe Biden is revamping a lot of federal centers. There's going to be a lot more vaccinations going out. There's going to be a lot more testing centers opening up. And his plan is to have 100 million people vaccinated in 100 days. And to be honest, it's a sort of a middle ground type thing, because medical professionals look at this and they're like, that's not nearly enough to reach herd immunity. So, we'll see. And then he's pushing for us to get back into the world. He wants us reinstated back into the World Health Organization. We're getting back into the Paris Climate Accords, which is great. I love the Earth. I would love to continue living here for quite some time with my family before we all inevitably die. Yeah, that'd be great. But one thing I haven't heard much about is if we're getting back into the Iran nuclear deal, which Obama got us into, which I really liked. It limited what the Iranians could do with their nuclear capabilities, and now we just have Europe to hold them to account. I like Europe, but one thing I'm not really confident in their abilities in is strong-arming people to their will. At least with the U.S.-Iranian deal, I feel like U.S. officials would be a little bit more strict and no bullshit, because we basically hate the Iranians for some reason. I know they're a little backward in some ways. They do still execute homosexuals there, which is fucking terrible. That is all very wrong. But compared to a lot of Middle Eastern countries, Iran is very metropolitan. You can go buy an iPod at the, an iPad, or, your usual capitalist product at the corner store. They have cars, they have satellite TV and the internet. Americans assume the rest of the world is just a third world country, and, might be right by definition, but it's not what they think it is. And so, yeah, there is a lot of things President Biden is doing that I'm a big fan of, I'm fond of, but I don't think it's good enough. I don't think he's going far enough. In his inauguration speech, he talked about secured health care. That doesn't mean anything. Secured health care doesn't mean anything. Is that access to health care? We already have access to health care. I can go to the ER at any fucking point for anything. They charge me a fucking arm and a leg for it, but I have access. What we need is Medicare for all. We need a actual universal health care that covers everyone. And you shouldn't have to pay huge premiums for it. You shouldn't have to go through a healthcare exchange through Obamacare. That was an intrinsically flawed system. What we need is not Romney Care or Obamacare. We need Medicare for all. God damn it. Get it through your heads. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to legalize weed either. He doesn't seem like he's very fond of that sort of thing. He's a big proponent of the crime bill. Joe Biden does not seem like he's down with the weed. It just every time I see Joe Biden as president, it just makes me sad, because I think Bernie not only would have beat Trump, he would have beat him by a huger margin. And it would just be so much better. I think the country would be more enthusiastic. I think we would actually be confident, us on the left, that our policies would at least be considered. I think with Joe Biden, we just have to bully him. We just need to bully the shit out of him. And anyone who argues with us, we need to bully the shit out of them, to be quite honest. Because Joe Biden, man, he's not gonna do anything unless he's forced to do it. He's nominally on the left. I would say he is a moderate Republican. I wouldn't even say he's on the left, but by this country's standards, he's very nominally on the left. And he needs to be forced to do it. He needs to realize cost benefit analysis. I should agree with the lefties on this because it is actually the popular position. Everyone having health care is the popular position when you poll it. Legalizing marijuana is the popular position when you poll it. Listen to the will of the people. Moving on. I am glad that I have a president now that I at least feel was intelligent at one point. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of half agree with a lot of you people on the right when you talk about Joe Biden having Alzheimer's and stuff. It does seem like it. I mean, for his inauguration speech, he did pretty well. I'm thinking he was hopped up on like some caffeine tablets at the very least, if not, a little something else, because he was very alert. But some of his speeches, you can see, he just like trails off. And keep in mind, I mean, I do that, but I smoke a ton of weed. But there we go, right there. But Joe Biden, yeah, you can really see it. He's starting to wear a little bit mentally. But I mean, I don't think Donnie Boy was ever there. You can find shit going back from when he was 30 years old where you read that and you're like, that is some of the most retarded shit I've ever read in my life. But yeah, I'm hopeful about Joe Biden, but that needs to be the left's game plan. We just need to bully the shit out of him. Bernie Sanders needs to be hanging out in the back, angry, pissed off looking, with his mittens every day, and then when he gets to that mic, he needs to call out the Democrats for every single crime that they commit and every time that they disregard the will of the people. Oh man, if Bernie had won the Democratic primary. It's the same wistful dream that we had in 2016, isn't it? But again, we have a president who I'm fairly confident can read. Huzzah! Huzzah!